probably one of the more interesting games, at least I can say I've ever had to cast. In Velocity going up against Team To Be Determined, where Velocity, they have a very miniature composition. Just look how small all their champions are.
Oh, they're so cute. They're our little. Somebody, I mean, I got a pair of Yordles here in the form of Corky and Poppy, and then we got little prom queen Annie rolling around here. They're just adorable.
Just wait until Quin gets into like her bite-sized Valor form as well, and I mean they're just also tiny, but they also are getting invaded on right now. To Be Determined being very aggressive with this ward placement early on, putting it down in the Wraith Brush. They want to know where NK Ink's going to be going throughout the jungle, as well as where the lanes may stack up. We're on the flip side, this is giving Evaniskus plenty of time to put down as many wards as he likes on the top red side jungle.
The chat, for anyone who's wondering, the chat right now is FallenBandit. Okay, so there's a couple good luck, have funs. And then FallenBandit says, oops, wrong summoners. So next thing coming out here, as we see the side of To Be Determined stepping forward, taking control of the blue side of the jungle away from Velocity.
Yeah, and they just want to make sure that they have as much control on the map as possible right now, taking the grand tour of Summoner's Rift. You see a couple of Phosphorus bombs going down from Maple Street. And I'm really interested to see when this revived teleport Poppy really kicked into gear. You've touched upon it very briefly in the late game about how powerful it's going to be at just taking Caitlyn completely out of the game, but I'm not exactly sure what we're going to expect early on from it.
All right, so we should point out FallenBandit is just stepping in as a substitute, we believe, for Chris. Is the most information we have from them. They had just a couple of issues that came up, and they had to grab a couple of subs very, very quickly here. As FallenBandit, oh, that crushing blow. Westrice finding out exactly how it got that name.
Yeah, and Poppy just taking it to the fight to Westrice right here as we continue to see just as Q's landing down. The power it packs behind those blows is it's 20 plus 75 right now, which is her base AD, plus I believe it is 8%. Yeah, 8% of her target's maximum health, not current health. So Westrice being a tanky top laner Shen, he's going to be feeling the effects of that the entire game.
So Sai getting the Ignite taken down on him. They're just poking as much damage back and forth as they can. And, you know, so far they're trying to abuse the damage coming out from that Quin. But thus far, yeah, I mean, they aren't necessarily getting the better of it.
Well, this is a lane matchup. Quin, very much like Vayne, doesn't have the longest attack range in the world, and Caitlyn and Zyra, as we saw in the Curse game against Cognitive, being able to abuse this. Hitting level 2 first, the roots go down on Evaniskus. That means that Sai's open up for pain. First blood goes down to Bubbadub, flash away from Evaniskus. Auto attacks go out. Can Zyra make it a 2 for nothing? No, it's not going to be, but first blood secured for bottom lane and the side of TBD.
So Sai ended up going down without using his flash on that one. He will still have that available for the next fight come around. But just like that, ROBERTxLEE is going to take a champion. Caitlyn typically wins her lane in any situation and will come out of the lane 20 to 30 CS ahead no matter what. As Brokenshard's going to try to make a gank happen up at top.
Oh, FallenBandit just knocking him against the wall there. Brokenshard has to flash away from that one. Westrice goes in afterwards, and now he's slowed by a red buff, as well as the damage coming out from Poppy right here. FallenBandit going to take a couple free pot shots at that, and Westrice extremely low in lane, has to pop his health potion, and well, he's not going to be too happy about this.
Yeah, FallenBandit, of course, does also have his health potion pop, but then again, Poppy, she gets harder to kill the lower she gets. Her passive starts activating more and more often. It's very, very difficult to actually judge how much damage reduction she gets from that, as it's widely considered to be one of the best passive abilities in the game, if not the best.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Poppy becomes naturally tanky when she's at that 50% mark. It's all damage gets reduced by 10%. Not just physical, not just magic, all damage. So if you're going to try to burst her down, it's not going to work. If you try to sustain damage her down, like, let's say, ROBERTxLEE in the later stages of the game just wails away on her with auto attacks, those headshot proc not going to be as painful when they're reduced by an overall 10 flat %. So Poppy definitely getting the best of Shen in that top lane. Does wind up going back. We'll see what the build's going to be, too. I've seen players such as BoxBox, the sub for Velocity, actually, has been going Ravenous Hydra on Poppy, but Trinity Force is still kind of the industry standard on her. We do see potentially a GP10 pickup coming out from FallenBandit, though.
It's looking like that's what he's going to grab up here first, and that's pretty common. Poppy's late game is terrifying, but everything up until then is just kind of meh in a lot of ways, so picking up a little bit of early gold pretend is not necessarily going to be the worst thing in the world. And you can either sell the Philo Stone, or if you want, you can even turn it into like a Shirelia's Reverie is a really terrifying item, building even more move speed on her, in addition to what she's going to be able to get out from that W as she just goes into full just destruction mode and tries to chase down the Caitlyn.
Well, detracting away from the lane that's obviously distracting both my attention and my fury right now in that top lane. We saw Sai the Sai continue to take ridiculous amounts of damage from Robert and Bubbadub. We did have NK Inc. looking like he wanted to try to support this bottom lane a bit, but he is going to wind up recalling and backing away. Let's move over to a lane matchup that we haven't really talked all too much about. It's going to be from MapleStreet taking on Gragas from Arthelon in the mid lane, and that is a full AP Corky. He's got 27 AP right now with no items.
AP Corky is kind of terrifying in poke compositions just because of the fact that he's able to so consistently deal so much damage. And there's not really all that much that you can do to stop him, because even if you try to dive him, I mean, he's got the Valkyrie to get back away from that. He's a very, very safe champion that gets really good damage down at a very, very long range. It's not something that we've seen too much of, but I've been kind of waiting to see a little bit more AP Corky in making an appearance in poke compositions, because there aren't necessarily a whole lot of mid laners outside of Italy that are like, oh, this makes a ton of sense in a poke comp.
Well, we saw how powerful Nidalee was in a poke composition, but not exactly the same kind of lineup here for Velocity, as they have a lot of melee for their side, and of course the AD carry who's actually going to transform into a melee range bird as well. So we have, speaking of that AD carry, Sai as well as Evaniskus in this bottom lane. They have a lot of damage potential, but they're just having problems reaching Caitlyn and Zyra right now.
Absolutely, and that's going to be the roughest part of that matchup every single time. ROBERTxLEE has that kill, has a little bit of a CS edge. He's up about 8 CS at the moment, and it's going to be very, very difficult for them to turn that back around. Once NK Inc. hits level 6, and they add that initiation power, as Evaniskus takes so much damage.
Yeah, Evaniskus just getting chunked right there from the combination of Caitlyn and Zyra, locking him up and taking him down as low as possible. He is trying to get a stun charge up, has 3 out of the 4 charges he needs for that one, but I don't necessarily know if he's going to get a chance to use it, because the remaining members of TBD, they're on the backside here. They want to take this dragon, and it's very interesting because no members of Velocity are down, and they know that this is here. Looks like Arthelon going to actually knock MapleStreet back in, has to try to Valkyrie himself out of that one. Brokenshard's going to secure the dragon. Can Arthelon secure the kill, though? Flash away from MapleStreet. NK Inc. comes in. One more shot. He's going to flash for the kill there. It's going to be picked up there onto Arthelon, and that's going to be now being chased down by Brokenshard and Bubbadub, trying to take him down under tower. Shen ultimate goes down, so Brokenshard can tank. He gets the ignite. Is it going to be enough? No, can't kill NK Inc. And despite the Stand United shield, they run away from the tower, and NK Inc. gets out of there alive.
But they do keep enough HP on Brokenshard that he can now go and get the red steel down. They were able to take control of the dragon area, and to be determined, that's a very, very aggressive play. Want to give for MapleStreet a shout out. He recognized, you know what, Arthelon is going to barrel me into the team. I know this is going to happen. I need to have counterplay for it. And so he held on to the Valkyrie. He was very, very patient with that one. He didn't allow Arthelon the opportunity to cancel him back out by using the explosive cask as the Valkyrie was starting up. And Arthelon is definitely a player that has the reaction time to make a play like that happen. So I really, really like from MapleStreet just being so patient, saying, if you want to deal damage to me, you're going to have to use the big cooldowns that I'm watching out for, and was able to, if not get out, was able to force him to bite really, really hard to try to make that happen, and they couldn't quite pick up the kill on NK Inc.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how MapleStreet uses that advantage in lane now, as we did see NK Inc. as well as Brokenshard contesting over the enemy, or technically it's Brokenshard's allied red buff, the enemy red buff for the side of Velocity on the blue team here. And panning back up to this top lane, I just want to correct something, because I was reading Poppy's passive wrong, actually, so I gotta admit I made a huge mistake here. It's actually, Poppy, anything more than 10% of her current HP is reduced by half, rather than being reduced by 10%, and I just goofed up my words right there, which is why you can see Vorpal Blaze being thrown at Westrice, from Westrice, and pretty much not even taking a bar away from FallenBandit's HP. Exactly,
yeah, and combine that with, there's a little bit of regen coming out from the Philosopher's Stone. It's probably not, I mean, for generally, a top laner isn't going to consider that to be substantive regen, but when you have as much damage reduction as Poppy does, you get so much more value out of even that limited amount of regeneration.
Yeah, and we do see just going back and forth, both of them pretty much immobile objects right now, though, because Westrice, he's Shen, he's tanky, and he isn't going to be taking a lot of damage, even if it's Poppy putting it down on him. Ping towards the bottom lane area here, as we do see that NK Inc. just giving the heads up that, hey, Arthelon is roaming down. They have wards in the river to try to scout that one out, and he's not going to be able to be a pesky Gragas, trying to put even more pressure down here on this bottom lane. However, Brokenshard on Lee Sin, he's waiting in the wings right here. There's a pink ward in that back brush, so he knows he's safe, and there's a forward ward because of all the pressure that Robert and Bubbadub have put down here. We'll have to see if this patience winds up paying off, though, as Evaniskus inside, they are pushed back extremely far due to the range. No level 6 yet on Zyra, no level 6 yet on Annie, and actually, as I say that, she does hit level 6. NK Inc. is here, too. This could be a bit of a turnaround. Flash, and Tibbers goes down. Brokenshard comes in. Wants to try to keep back Evaniskus, but it's too late. Sai takes out Bubbadub. There is going to be a reprisal kill, though, as Brokenshard takes takes out Evaniskus on Annie, and it's just going to be a 1-for-1 trade right here. It looks like both of them going to have to back away from that.
Robert's got to be so careful. Nhuyen still has his ultimate available. Nhuyen knows that. He's going to try to bully Brokenshard around.
Yeah, Brokenshard does wind up safeguarding away, misses the Sonic Wave, so no Resonating Strike will follow up. Robert, he's trying to chug away, has the ace in the hole. It's going to land on Sai. Nhuyen not able to block that one up. We're still in this awkward jungle and AD carry 2v2 situation. Brokenshard fakes the go in and winds up safeguarding back to Robert, so it looks like they might be able to escape this one for now.
Sometimes it's just about sending the message. And FallenBandit's message right now is Westrice, please get away from my tower.
FallenBandit gets extremely low right there as Westrice tries to deal the damage to him. He is going to wind up forcing him out of lane, and despite the Giant's Belt and the percentage of HP damage working against Shen, he's able to force Poppy out. But speaking of being forced out, Nhuyen was waiting in the wings there. There was a ward in that brush and river. Brokenshard going to ward hop and flash, secure the kill on Nhuyen. Now Sai gets hit, Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike. He does get the backflip away though, but a flash forward and the headshot right there. Robert's going to wind up picking up a kill for himself.
Brokenshard's like, you know what, playing with 200 ping, playing some Elise, no problem. I don't need to have good lag, or good connections to this. I don't need to have good ping. I can make this happen anyway. Just beautiful play there from him, being very, very patient with that one, and just recognizing opportunities and seizing them, getting that ward jump into the brush, then using the flash to pick up that auto attack. I mean, it's just such fantastic play, forcing Nhuyen out of that one. Nhuyen never ended up using his ultimate the entire time that he was down in that lane.
No, the Assaulted Battery wasn't able to land on poor Cupcake down there as ROBERTxLEE just continued to chunk away on this tower like Caitlyn does. BF sword in pocket, and that's where we saw Cop being a devastating force on it just in the previous game. A kill has been picked up since then, as well as multiple assists onto Robert, and just look at how scared poor Evaniskus is without a jungler and without his AD carried nearby. Bubbadub, ROBERTxLEE gonna take this down. The Roots go out beforehand. Tibbers comes down to stun Bubbadub, but the tower's not there to deal damage. Roots wind up picking up a kill on him as Sai and Nhuyen, they're coming into side, but remember, they do have the Assault and Battery. The backflip goes off with the slow. Slam dunk goes through, but the Shen stand united as well. Westrice here to turn this around. The flash taunt lands on Nhuyen. He's going to try to get out of there with a ball breaker, but he winds up going to his own death. Teleport in from FallenBandit. No revive, so the speed boost isn't there. Tries to slam Westrice against the wall. Not going to happen. There is the diplomatic immunity down on the Bubbadub side. Tries to get the execute. He will pick up that last auto attack, though. There's a kill back for Velocity, and overall, it looks like it's a 2-for-1 situation, but the tower also goes down in favor of TBD.
Arthelon taking a lot of damage. MapleStreet wants to be able to clean this one up. Flashes in. He does get pulled back by the explosive cast. Arthelon tags him with the auto attack and picks up the win in the duel near the river.
And he stands up, but he comes FallenBandit. You gotta get out of there, Arthelon. He's a little showboaty and has to burn his flash because of it, but it was a great kill picked up by Arthelon. No vision in the brush despite the phosphorus bomb going off a little bit too late, and Corky wasn't able to pick up that kill.
I don't even know what to say. Like, Gragas is standing there dancing with that big old belly of his flopping all over. Wow, Arthelon. Such plays, much damage.
Oh man, Arthelon, he's burned his flash for that one, so we might not see Gragas being able to move nearly as far as we thought he would be without that up, but Fatman is going to do what Fatman does. He picks himself up a kill on his lane opponent, and that's after, of course, his own lane opponent had burned all the summoners in the previous engagement they were in, so Arthelon gets to turn around on that one. Brokenshard continuing to camp this bottom lane. There is the QRQ combo. Evaniskus gets slowed. He feeds the kill over to his AD carry. ROBERTxLEE's going to pick that one up. Nhuyen comes out from the side, but there's wards down the river from TBD. They know he's around, but they know that Velocity is down a man too. Westrice is pushing top tower down low, and that dragon is going to be all TBD. Or is it, as Velocity tries to sneak around?
The thing about trying to make a play happen here, this is going to be a very, very risky play for them. Arthelon throws the ward down over the wall. They're going to see this one coming. TBD trying to maintain control.
Nhuyen does have his flash available. The smite is up. Is he going to go over the wall with a ball breaker, try to steal it? Can't quite get it. He is going to be able to flash out from that one, though. MapleStreet applying a little bit of damage to those Corky rockets, but just no chance to steal that one away. And TBD comes out multitude levels of ahead as that top tower also being split pushed down by Westrice, and he's taking this fight before FallenBandit.
Yeah, FallenBandit is doing everything he can to get enough sustain to keep himself in this one right now, picking up that Vamp Scepter, but it's just not enough. He has no answer for the Sunfire Cape from Westrice. As a melee champion, if FallenBandit wants to get CS when he's not under his tower, he has to be in range to take that damage, plus everything else that Westrice is doing with the key strikes, with the Vorpal Blades, everything else. He just doesn't have the tankiness to stay up here. He doesn't have the sustain to keep himself up here, and he's yet to actually use that revive. So whether or not he intended to bring these summoners, we've yet to really see them brought to bear.
No, another thing is Poppy, she doesn't necessarily have wave clear, which is why a Ravenous Hydra is a pretty decent pickup on her, aside from the auto attack resets you can get from it. she dies or is out-pressured by early lane pushing, and by rushing that Sunfire Cape, despite Poppy dealing a lot of magic damage on her Q-Proc, Shen's able to shove the wave against Poppy, and even with the teleport coming in from Poppy earlier on, getting that much forward pressure onto Shen, he hasn't, basically, Poppy can't do anything against the poor ninja in top, or the powerful ninja in top lane. The poor Poppy can't really respond.
This is one of the few lanes where Shen can actually get aggressive early on. I mean, generally speaking, he just tries to not fall behind and just relies on the fact that he's Shen and he has that ultimate and is able to just do so much work in the late game. But this is a situation where Westrice has basically, despite not even going an aggressive build, has been in control. Arthelon's gonna go for the dive.
Ooh, and the explosive cast just assassinates Sai right there. Even the WoW coming out in chat, he didn't even know how much damage Arthelon had right there. Blue buff in hand is going to be a short cooldown for that, and it looks like the bottom tower, as well as this top tower, taking a lot of damage from the side of TBD. They're all over the map right now, Malfus.
They do lead the tower count 2-0 right now. They are up 5,000, no, excuse me, math is hard, 7,000 gold. Now they take down the tower. And that's a 7,500 gold now is going to be the lead between these two sides. They have just got a stranglehold on this early game.
Yeah, and they're just continuing to push these advantages, much like we saw with the cursed Caitlyn composition. Outer towers lead to jungle pressure. As you see Brokenshard going in, trying to steal away the red buff. Looks like he actually did. Shen United comes down. NK in a lot of trouble. Ace in the hole, blocked by frommaplestreet, but he's got no HP left. They have to get away, but they run away into Arthelon. 2 quick kills go down. One on the Zyra, one on the Elise. In comes Valor. The explosive cast is back up already. Sai is going to take out Arthelon and net himself that blue buff, but it's a 2-for-1 trade still in favor of TBD.
That was a really, really nice play from Sai to at least get something for it, as FallenBandit is now the one under duress.
Oh, Diplomatic Immunity goes down, amplifies the damage on him, and a shutdown winds up going away to Sai the Sai. Well, actually, I guess he's Sai the carry right now. 4 and 3 for Velocity. He has 4 of their 5 kills. Maplestreet taking so much damage. Flash forward from Robert, not going to wind up sealing the deal, but a flash shot over the wall from Westrice on the FallenBandit. Sunfire Cape picks up the kill. That's some swag style right there from Westrice.
Gonna be able to just barely get himself away from this one. They just try to back away. NK Inc. would love to be able to lock him up under that tower. Will not be able to do so. ROBERTxLEE cleans that up. NK Inc. gonna take down the rest of the creeps, and now they're on the run. Yeah,
there's still some cooldown left on his Assault and Battery, though, about halfway through, so they're not going to wind up getting that knockdown onto Robert. But in from the side comes FallenBandit. He used the revive, he used the teleport. Once again, taunted up by Shen right here. Westrice taking a lot of damage. Explosive cast knocks Poppy back. Is she going to revive just to die? Arthelon picks himself up a kill, and maybe the revive wasn't the right summoner to take after all.
Oh, Sai the King is now the one getting caught.
Yeah, Sai's got double boss on him, so he's a very valuable target. Brokenshard, can you hit the Q? There's the Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike, and he takes the kill from Robert. Robert might not be happy about that when it burned the entire cooldown on his Ace in the hole, but a kill is a kill, and the buff transfer is complete.
That's just, I mean, we should point out that the Poppy passive does not reduce damage from towers.
Yes.
So Arthelon, just nuking away. I want to say that FallenBandit was trying to clear aggro from behind the tower. A lot of times people, once they go for a dive, they don't necessarily think about the fact that if there's creeps that are taking the tower, they can actually go further in and clear aggro. But Arthelon used the ultimate to actually punt him right back next to his own tower and basically forced FallenBandit to choose a long path no matter which direction he ended up going, and just could not drop aggro in time. And that's going to be Poppy's second death of the game, and second death within a minute.
Yeah, and it's a little unfortunate. The first death gets the revive and immediately dies again. They don't even wind up getting a tower for that one. And TBD, they realize, like, hey, wait a second. We were in control of this game. We're going to set camp back up on your side of the map. With that middle second tier tower already down, they're rotating towards this top lane tower. And it seems like it's up to Velocity to try to defend. But with so many melee range characters, I don't necessarily know if they can just try to engage against the poke. Gragas barrels are shredding through, and Arthelon is chunking people down with them. Caitlyn, of course, with the auto attacks and the belt over Peacemakers are able to take large chunks of HP, but Lee Sin and Zyra have plenty of poke themselves. Right now, it's TBD 5 strong in the top lane, Velocity 5 not so strong, trying to defend against this tower. Ace in the hole goes out from Robert. That's going to wind up getting blocked off. Not a lot of damage going through on that one quite yet, but there's no minions here for Velocity, and plenty of waves still in tow here for the side of TBD.
And I mean, once again, we find another composition that's predicated around Caitlyn. Oh, Evaniskus is so brave!
Oh, Evaniskus goes over the Timbers, tries to get the initiation. There's the Diplomatic Immunity onto ROBERTxLEE. He's going to get the damage amplification. Westrice also taking up as much as he can. NK Inc. comes in, but FallenBandit goes out. Arthelon takes out the original initiator at Evaniskus. Then the nice grass roots from Bubbadub locks up MapleStreet as well as FallenBandit. Stand United on Arthelon as he suddenly become the tank. In comes Shen, taunt lands on NK Inc. MapleStreet's gonna get picked up by a barrel as well. Quin finally takes down one, but she also gets killed on the backside. Lee Sin picks up the kill, and that is a 4-for-1 trade in favor of TBD.
Brokenshard a little too aggressive on that one. FallenBandit's going to be the one to pick up that kill. He calls himself out. I'm so bad. Just report me. I agree. People who cannot flash and land Qs with 200 ping should definitely be 9x reported. But he almost got the kill anyway, just with the auto attack and the red buff. True damage is not mitigated by Poppy's passive. That's just about the only thing that isn't. So was able to just get so much damage done there. But FallenBandit, kind of showing one of the first signs of life from him as he picks up a kill and grabs some double buffs. Now maybe going to try to go for the chase on Robert.
Well, he's got a blue buff on him now thanks to Brokenshard, so he's going to try to get in here, but unfortunately, even though he's got that Paragon of Demacia at level 4 right now, speed boost might not be enough to pick up to Robert. There's a flash and stun from Evaniskus, though. The slam against the wall. Robert is feeling the Poppy pain right now. NK Inc. comes in as well. Who's going to get the kill? They give it to FallenBandit, and Robert, he just accepted that fate and tried to recall away.
I think that's a smart decision. I mean, the more gold they can get on a Poppy, the sooner the better. See, there is a phase done there, so it looks to me like FallenBandit is indeed going for that Trinity Force build, but it's going to be so late. I mean, just so very late. The Philosopher's Stone has already paid up 434 gold, so as he starts scaling later and later into the game, that extra gold generation is going to become absolutely huge. Brokenshard wants to start something up in the mid lane.
Yeah, he actually got stunned by Annie, and the Blade of the Rune King winds up going down from Sai. Evaniskus, though, he does want to get hit. Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike. There's the ward, but no insect kick required. Arthelon mops that one up. NK Inc. finds himself in the middle of an enemy team. There's a Sonic Wave over the wall. Brokenshard picks up a kill on that one. That's a 2-for-0 right there in favor of TBD. Top lane, though, FallenBandit going one-on-one with Westrice. Poppy dropping super low, and there's a taunt kill from Westrice that time, figuring out all sorts of new ways to kill my least favorite champion. I
kind of wonder if FallenBandit messed up just by not taking the Ignite Flash or Ignite Ghost. Like, Ignite does get amplified by the ultimate coming out from Poppy, so when he finds himself in those one-on-one duel situations, that extra bit of true damage can kind of turn the tides on that one, especially given that Shen is going to be regenerating. I mean, it's a little bit from the Vorpal Blade. I mean, it's not a lot, but it's at least something. When he has this much HP, it's not a small amount. But at this point, Westrice is just so far ahead. I mean, he can't really stand and just try to face fight him. It's a 4-0-6 Shen at this point, who will probably have Trinity Force done the next time he goes back to base against Poppy, who just now bought a Sheen.
Yeah, and that Shen might have Trinity Force before Poppy actually completes it. So the champion that's an optional item on against the champion that's almost a necessity, and the optional one winds up finishing first. So Westrice definitely going to be packing a punch now. Vorpal Blade and the Sheen proc on top of the Key Strike. That's a lot of damage, and I don't even know if Poppy's passive can mitigate all of that one. Robert kind of goes into AD carry split mode as he's in the bottom of Brokenshard, sets its sights on this red buff, but finds 3 members strong of an enemy team. Westrice at the stand United comes in. Let's see how much damage this Trinity Force really deals right now. Brokenshard gets taken down extremely low, but Westrice chunking away on Evaniskus. There's a phosphorus bomb from Corky to try to deter them, but it's not going to be enough. Westrice is unstoppable. He drops down really low, but gets a taunt back down. FallenBandit trying to mitigate the damage with his passive. Lee Sin picks up a kill. Shen finally goes down. First death of the game there for Westrice, but now Robert's come up to join the party. A double kill picked up for him. Arthelon with a cask over the wall, just a little bit too late to the party for that one, Gragas, but it's going to be another 4-for-1 in favor of TBD.
And Sai is just up in the top lane split pushing right now. That's one of the things that Quin does the best, but when you're the primary AD carry for your side, I mean, what do? They're just like that, to be determined. They're able to force the issue in the jungle. They're able to take that fight extremely one-sidedly. And right now, they're leaving poor Evaniskus alone to try to defend this inhibitor tower.
Sai's going to want to getting the top outer, but the bottom inhibitor tower goes down. Ace in the hole goes off on Evaniskus, as does about half of his HP. Diplomatic immunity and the stun go down. Roberts actually got locked up, and he really can't do anything. Drops a cupcake. That stun's still going to affect FallenBandit, and the cavalry comes in, and Poppy goes down.
ROBERTxLEE tried to disjoin the heroic charge. He tried to actually use it to push him further, where he flashed out as soon as the heroic charge got used, but he still ended up getting stunned. The game read it as if he got pushed into the wall anyway, and now Brokenshard's chasing Sai out of his own jungle.
Yeah, he kicks down rather instead of towards him. It looks like that actually you're going to have to turn into Valor form right here. There is the safeguard to award the Sonic Wave does not connect. Sai actually trying to run away from this one. Arthelon's on the backside. Not going to try to go over that wall to chase down a very speedy Valor, which is something that Velocity does have on their side. Sai, he's very hard to lock down if he does wind up getting caught out in the split push.
So see Westrice at this point up towards the top lane. His ultimate's going to be coming back up very, very quickly. He has the Trinity Force completed, had it coming into that fight as he showed up on that one, and he's just... he is just so incredibly strong enough. ROBERTxLEE got the red buff up applied on the NK Inc, but not going to try to chase that down as he knows he's one ball breaker away.
And speaking of, Sai goes in on the Bubbadub, taking a lot of damage, but there's an ace in the hole from Robert. There's the stun from Tibbers, locking up both of them. There's the slam dunk coming out from NK Inc. Bubbadub still barely alive, trying to support his AD carry. NK Inc picks up that kill. Flash mode from Maple Street. Now he and Sai fighting for the kill. Goes to Maple Street, but Brokenshard just assassinates Sai in that time. He jumps back over the wall. Arthelon's here with the barrels. In comes Westrice. He picks up a kill on from Maple Street from the backside, and now 3 strong members of TBD. Well, actually, one's going to run into the wall right here. Brokenshard does go over it. The Stand United saves him. Now Arthelon's left in a 1v1 duel, NK Inc, and he's just walking after him. He knows that he has this kill. He's going to pick it up eventually, has the cooldowns and everything. He and NK Inc just kind of trolling around. Is he going to let NK Inc vault break over the wall? He aggro's Baron, and now Baron is the one that picks up the kill on NK Inc.
Because he did no damage, he ended up getting the execute down. Now, obviously, Arthelon is there for the experience, but he just waited so long. I thought that he was making the smart play of, okay, I'm not going to let Vi get back to base and home guard and try to defend, but his team wasn't pushing anyway. So Arthelon was just kind of playing with his food on that one, and it ended up costing him, as that's one kill that he's not going to get the gold for.
He is not going to wind up getting the gold for that kill, and he might be a little bit upset about that, but the way he's just trucking along and laughing, we wouldn't really know it from Arthelon, but still 28-11 right now. It's 26.5 minutes into this game, and it's about a 14,500 gold lead for the side of to be determined. So they have a little bit of leeway to do things like that, but Velocity, they're trying to make a move across the map as quickly as possible. Evaniskus and Bubbadub, both of them have those Oracle Elixirs. The vision's going to be very, very crucial here. FallenBandit can block this ace in the holes all day too, as he won't be taking the full damage from them, and a tower actually goes down in favor of Velocity, putting them up to 3.
I mean, granted, to be determined are way ahead in this one, right? 14,000 gold is a massive, massive deficit. But I don't know that I would sit on a Poppy composition as FallenBandit. He's just going to get sit on getting rooted and killed.
Yeah, speaking of getting sit right there, FallenBandit's going to wind up falling. He gets hit by a cupcake, gets hit by a root, and unfortunately can't go anywhere, as the only place he does go is, well, he falls. So there's going to be a kill there on Poppy, as now TBD kind of grouped up towards this mid lane as 4 is Shen, just doing his Shen thing, pushing on the bottom against Quin. And even though Quin might have a decent matchup against Shen, 17-14, and all these items right here are making Westrice a powerful opponent. The Blade of the Rune King goes down, the Revive Teleport Poppy comes in. Westrice does not go down, though. Neither does Sai, though. The knockup from the Stranglethorns going down from Bubbadub onto NK Inc. He has actually been diplomatic immunity, but it's not going to matter. It looks like Zyra's one that picked up a kill, but in comes Sai, and out he goes. Just blown up by Arthelon right there. FallenBandit trying to deal some damage, but unfortunately his Poppy, he doesn't really do that. There's going to be Corky going down as well. It is a 4 for none right now. TBD, they got 2 inhibitors to take down, all for themselves.
I think one of my favorite moments of this match so far will have to be, and probably will even at the end of the match, will be Brokenshard, getting the punt off onto. Actually, now I can't remember who it was. Oh shucks, he got the punt off into somebody, and then a Zyra plant actually ended up picking up the kill. So that's the little alley oops are always nice. Evaniskus almost ends up taking out the ace in the hole and falling down, but just like that, to be determined, they're going to grab down the Nexus. Nothing Velocity can really do for this one, as they're trying to bully Arthelon out. Here comes the ult from NK Inc.
NK Inc does go into Robert, but he's in the middle of absolutely everybody from TBD. Can he wind up getting a kill? In comes Poppy. FallenBandit trying to deal some damage. Sai gets a shutdown on Arthelon, but Bubbadub picks up a kill on NK Inc. Now Robert, he's just chasing Poppy around. He doesn't want to hit him on that cupcake. He will wind up getting locked up. There's the taunt from Westrice, but FallenBandit actually going to go through, picks up a kill there onto Robert. The same side that picked up a kill for Sai in the bottom lane. So all of a sudden TBD, Maple Street picks up a kill on Westrice, and everybody out there is dead except for Bubbadub.
I mean, the unfortunate thing for Velocity about this is at this point they're pushed inside of their base. They're 2 inhibitors down. So many super creeps pushing across the map that they're going to have a very, very difficult time getting anything from this. The pings are going down onto Baron. FallenBandit looks like he's going to be the brave little yodel that could, as he's just waiting for the rest of his team to show up and try to actually take this down. No, he's going to start it up. So FallenBandit is alone trying to work down onto this Baron as best he can.
I mean, FallenBandit starting on the Baron. In comes Evaniskus from MapleStreet and Sai. Sai is a Blade of the Rune King. The only person not there is the Smite, but guess what? Lee Sin just revived right now. Velocity making a power play with 2 inhibitors down. It's extremely dangerous because the Super Minions are pushing in and FallenBandit is low, but they're going to net themselves this Baron. TBD, they might have done goofed a sec right there, Malphus.
Alright, so the Baron does get picked up. I don't think To Be Determined are necessarily too scared about this one, because with the Caitlyn composition and the ability to just pick one tower and siege it, well, they're going to pick the only tower left on the map. So Velocity are going to have an extremely difficult time stopping them from doing anything on this one. Shen going in now onto Bubbadub. Bubbadub looking like he wants to try to make something happen. Westrice got home guards.
He's got the home guards, misses the taunt on Evaniskus, but Evaniskus, he's gonna get Lee Sin kicked right there. Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike. Arthelon gets dunked, Sai being chased around. There's the ace in the hole, and Caitlyn's gonna go bird hunting right there. Picks up a kill on Valor, and even though they had a Baron up, even though they had some breaths of life in them, TBD realized, hey guys, let's not lose this game. They're gonna just push into Velocity here. MapleStreet getting chunked. The NK Ink goes down. FallenBandit tried to keep up with the Baron buff in his own fountain area, but the Nexus is exposed. The Nexus is taking hits, and it looks like it might go down this time, Malphus, as it looks like TBD. They're going to wind up picking up the Nexus kill here, despite from MapleStreet's best efforts, and that's going to be game 1 for them.
That was a tough one. FallenBandit never really had an opportunity to get going with the Revive Teleport. We never really saw the zombie poppy that I think he was hoping for. And that was mostly an artifact of them getting so far behind. I mean, they'd never really had that good 5v5 team fight that you could then turn into a 6v5 team fight by going, getting the Revive and the Teleport coming back out. To Be Determined basically got out ahead of that one and just took complete control of the map. And as we've seen, that's 2 games in a row now. We've seen a Caitlyn composition just get out ahead in turrets and just snowball that gold lead.
Yeah, completely taking control of the map is something that has been a common theme in the 2 out of the 4 games we've seen so far here in tonight's